A name that no one was aware of, a name that was in obscurity, has now gained fame for, well, right or wrong reasons. We can't tell for sure, because we're divided. Welcome to an episode of Respect Your Boundaries. We all know the valiant efforts of our armed forces receives a lot of praise for their efforts that they put. But a recent incident in Srinagar in April made the army face a lot of parade music. Major Gogoi, during the elections in Srinagar, was faced with a huge stone pelting mob issue. He decided that tying the suspected ringleader of Stone Pelters Anonymous to a jeep would avoid them getting stoned and attacked, so that they can go and rescue people.
I'm sorry, sir. This jeep is manual transmission only.
And of course, where there is bizarre news, bizarre commentary follows. On one side, we have the human rights violation screamers who basically strive for the fundamental rights of a human being, be it a stone-pelting weaver or a soldier. On the other side are the nationalists, in other words, blind supporters, who think with their heart and wear their heart on their sleeve, which is the right place for the heart to be.
You're in the army now.
Actor MP Paresh Rawal, who is known for the courageous roles he takes on in many films, made a series of tweets against author Arundathi Roy, in one of which he says that she should have been tied to the jeep instead of a stone pelter. Sure, Mr. Rawal, that's what Gogoi should have done in a situation. Send out the troops to fetch Arundathi Roy and have her travel from where she is and then tie her to a jeep while time stands still and stones hang in mid-air. And who's to say that they will not pelt stones if she's in front of the jeep? You really wear your heart on your sleeve, but the location of your cerebrum is unknown.
ये cerebrum left या right में आता है बाबा?
But it turns out that Paresh Rawal was reacting to a bit of news which was based on comments that were made by her during an interview in a recent visit to Srinagar, and this was fake news. So no harm done, right? Marching on from the fake world to the real world, the fact still remains that a man was tied up to a jeep, which if you take it just as a statement seems wrong. But considering the circumstances surrounding the case, it was a tough decision that had to be taken. Given the possible solution to a 1,000-member strong mob running at you, the brain had to work to save the lives of a few people, but putting at risk the life of another. Sure, the victim of the Killjoy ride did not enjoy it and was left scared and scarred for the rest of his life. But the plan worked and a lot of lives were saved.
Hey Gogoi, what logic is that?
The problem I have with this is that when you take on the army of the country, you automatically become the enemy of the state. And it is fine that a suspected enemy is held hostage in a warlike zone, as mentioned by Arun Jaitley, the white money man, who thinks that all is fair in love and war. The problem I have is that this shouldn't become a precedent and part of our war zone-like strategy, only because now this could be a major rights issue, one that treats opposing armed forces and unarmed forces on the same level. Look, a thief who gets tied to a lamppost and beaten up will receive a lot more support than a rapist who is tied to a pole and beaten up. Both criminal offences, but it's just the way social media thinks, and everyone has a varying line of what is right. So now when Omar Abdullah makes a statement like, don't bother with the farce of military court of inquiry, clearly the only court that matters is the court of public opinion, I say, it's no wonder we get a unanimous, well thought out, investigated, upright judgment. There is truth in his statement when he states that it is a violation of the Geneva Convention, the Constitution of India, and violation of the military code. So we clearly can't say that justice has been met.
Left, 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 left.
And you have obviously got it right when you say that it is wrong to use people as a human shield. But isn't that exactly what we're doing with our armed forces? Except with their consent, of course. But I guess the stone pelter would not say yes to being a human shield. And obviously, Paresh Rawal would stand up for voluntary human shield services. At the end of the day, we live in a world of words, and that's all I can give you. But we do respect and honor the work that our armed forces and our defense personnel perform. This does not mean that every decision taken is correct, but also does not mean that a decision taken by one army personnel reflects the work that the Indian Army as a whole has been performing for the nation. So, to give credit where credit is due, it is a human rights violation and it is wrong. But otherwise, sincerely, thank you for the service.